idea, but this is the power of compounding. Let's bring that up right now and let's play this. So this chapter is to help you understand the power of compounding. If something grows over time, such as population, demand for oil, money supply, really anything that steadily increases in size, and you graph it over time, the graph will look like a hockey stick. If something is increasing over time on a percentage basis, it's growing exponentially. Using an example drawing on the magnificent work of Dr. Albert Bartlett, let me illustrate the power of compounding for you. Suppose I had a magic eyedropper and I placed a single drop of water in the middle of your left hand. The magic part is that this drop of water is going to double in size every minute. At first, nothing seems to be happening, but by the end of a minute, that tiny drop is now the size of 2 tiny drops. After another minute, you now have a little pool of water that is slightly smaller in diameter than a dime sitting in your hand. After 6 minutes, you have enough water to fill a thimble. Now, suppose we take our magic eyedropper to Yankee Stadium, and right at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we place a magic drop way down there on the pitcher's mound. To make this really interesting, suppose that the park is watertight and that I handcuff you to one of the very highest bleacher seats. My question to you is, how long do you have to escape from the handcuffs? When would the stadium be completely filled with water? Would it be days, weeks, months, years? How long would that take? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. The answer is you have until 12:50 on that same day to figure out how you're going to get out of those handcuffs. In 50 minutes, our modest little drop of water has completely managed to fill Yankee Stadium. Now let me ask you the more important question. At what time of the day would Yankee Stadium still be 93% empty space, and how many of you would realize the seriousness of your predicament? Any guesses? The answer is 12:45. If you were sitting idly in your bleacher seat waiting for help to arrive, by the time the field was covered with less than 5 feet of water, you would only have 5 minutes left to get free. And that right there illustrates one of the key features of compound growth. The one thing I want you to take away from all this is, with exponential functions, the action really only heats up in the last few moments. You sat in your bleacher seat for 45 minutes and nothing much seemed to be happening. And then in 4 minutes, bang, the whole place was full. This example was loosely based on a wonderful paper by Dr. Albert Bartlett that clearly and cleanly describes this process of compounding. Dr. Bartlett said, the greatest shortcoming of the human race is the inability to understand the exponential function. And he's absolutely right. All right, I totally agree with Dr. Albert Bartlett. As a quick aside, he's like the world preeminent person to learn exponential growth from. You can look up his stuff on YouTube. Really, really incredible seminal series there. He's got one lecture that just nails it. And I heard that and I refashioned that into that example that I just used here with the stadium. And quick aside, one time I was in Boulder, Colorado, 2009, I was given a talk and he was in the audience and I was explaining exponential growth to the person I most revered. It was like having the Dalai Lama sit in the third row and I was talking about spirituality. It was kind of a nerve-wracking moment for me, but also an honor to have him there. And I really want to point out his incredible work. So now that we understand that idea of exponential growth, we are in minute 45 to 48 in this story. Again, Singapore, Hong Kong doing these really incredible jobs, contact tracing really aggressively, testing. And they, of course, are getting a very flat line. This is a linear growth in cases right here. That's what they get to enjoy. Whereas all these countries who didn't test, hey, wash your hands, we're out of face masks, right? All of these countries, you now know what the shape of this is that you're looking at here, right? These are all the same shape. These are all growing exponentially.